Man, you can see faces now and everything. Feel like
this is what we look like.
Yeah, it feel like.
There's always turnover in the offseason.
Omar, why you got your mask on? Well, you ain't gonna have it this week. You gonna be good. Hey, that's one thing. You gonna be good, man. Like that. Hey, that's dope that you on that podcast. I like what y'all doing for sure.
He wasn't worried about us, so he didn't have it on it there.
Yeah, he ain't got it on part. He be fresh too. So what you think? I was like, look, Omar.
So Landon, it's been a pretty hectic offseason to put it mildly. A lot of changes on offense, but on defense, you guys are running it back. How surprised were you to see that, and what's your just thoughts about that?
To what?
Keeping everybody on defense, kind of running it back.
Oh man, it was a great thing, because I know all them guys. You got that team camaraderie, with your defense, and I'm glad we got all the guys back, and it's gonna be fun. Cause I know somebody's gonna have this question, but like the NFL changes every year, so to not have your defensive unit change that much, is a good thing.
I mean, obviously, Flo is no longer here, but with the team. But Josh Boyer stays the defensive coordinator. I mean, how much, or what do you expect to change in that aspect with him kind of really taking the reins with the defense?
I think Josh gonna do a great job. Do what he's been doing since he took over. The last 2 years, and that's it.
How does that continuity help you as a communicator and just kind of getting the defense to the rest of the guys? Like, there's no real going back to step one. You're already at step 4 or 5, whatever. How does it help you as a communicator?
It's good because now you can build on it. You can start like putting yourself and your defense in situations that you might have couldn't put in last year OTA. You had to start from the foundation, which, every year you still have to start with your foundation because guys been off, so you just got to revamp things, but it's a quicker process and stuff like that. And as a communicator, as a guy that guys know on the team, and I know them and know the best situation, to put each other in, it'll really complement us in the long run that, we was able to stay together.
So I'm sure you had some options. Why did you decide you wanted to come back?
To be fully transparent, I just felt like, this is my defense, lead on the team and a lead on the defense. And it was kind of no-brainer for me, to be honest with you, and stuff like that. I love being in Miami. My family love it out here. I have a good relationship with everyone in the building. So it was kind of like, it was a no-brainer. So, yeah. For me, this might sound funny, but I tell everyone around the building because I'm successful off the field and what I'm doing. I'm doing my own thing, off the field and stuff. I'm going into year 7, and I tell them all the time, man, I look to just be a high school head football coach. That's it. Because I feel like the foundation from kids start then. You got a lot of kids that go into college and come in the NFL and really still don't know, or really still don't know who they are. Even as a football player, you can be this great athlete and not know, great football player and still not know who you are until you get to the NFL. And I feel like me, being a guy, that's financially stable and stuff like that, and whatnot, maybe down the road, I'll be like, I want to coach in the NFL. Or, I might wake up next year and be like, I want to coach in the NFL. But right now, I just want to mentor kids and give them the right opportunity to be prepared for certain situations because, when you're in college, man, you got competition coming every year. So you got to approach that a certain way. But if you don't build that foundation as when them kids in high school and start them off in that path and not, it's a time and a place to pat them on the butt and say it's going to be okay. But when you thrown in them fire and you got them wolves coming every year, and the strongest survive and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, just like my situation, every year they try to push me out. I'm still in here looking at you guys.
Along those lines, do you find yourself kind of serving as a mentor to some of the younger guys with the new coaching staff and just kind of get things set in place? I know X talked about that last week, saying he's just trying to lead guys with a new coaching staff and get them to kind of buy in. Do you think you're doing the same?
Yeah, I think that's the energy around the whole building. You know, just guys. And this time, you know, it's a different year than the past 2 years when you haven't been able to come in for OTAs, mini camp, and all that. A lot of guys, you know, none of us was really in the building. So now that everybody in the building, you're able to really, really build, you know what I'm saying, with your teammates and stuff like that. So, you know, I just like that we got some normalcy going around. You know, the NFL these last 2 years been kind of weird. I kind of forgot how off-season program can go. Kind of was doing my own thing. So, yeah, it's cool, man.
So we're all kind of getting to know Coach Mike McDaniel. What do you think? How would you describe his personality?
You know, I mean, I think he's his own guy. You know, we done had conversations and that's been great, you know, and him around the building, you know, it's been great. And, you know, I feel like everything he told you guys that, you know, you kind of go off that, you know, he haven't hid anything from you guys or tried to do anything of that nature and stuff like that. And, you know, from me and, you know, him, you know, it just, him as a head coach, my job is to make sure that I lead the defense and the team in the right direction. And what way that he wants me to do that, that's the way I'm going to do it. Because at the end of the day, that's my head coach, and I'm going to follow behind him, you know, and you know, do my part with the team. And I feel like everybody dealing with coach and whatnot is having a positive mindset and everything with it. And, you know, I think, you know, like he kind of told y'all everything. So, I mean, I don't really know how to fall in. Yeah, so.
What's been your impression on this team's additions on the other side of the ball, specifically with all the new speed that's kind of been infused on offense?
Man, it's, you know, I was at home. I kind of got the news like, yeah, I feel like it's been great, you know, and it's exciting. But all we can really do is control today, you know, and then when the day is by, we control tomorrow and stuff like that. Because if we live in the future, man, we won't handle what's in the present. We just got to handle every day, day by day.
I know it's been a while since it happened, but what was your initial reaction when Flo was let go, a guy you had a long-standing relationship with?
I mean, it was months ago. Can't remember like that. But, yeah, it was just kind of worried about the present, not the past. I mean, I'm not trying to be you know, but I'm just, yeah.
With you coming off an ACL tear and then having a career year, I don't know if you were fully recovered when you were playing, but what does that say to you about yourself and what you can do?
I just feel like me, myself, every year I come in the year and I just try to get better and what I need to get better at and whatnot. And yes, this year for me is a 360 of difference because last offseason all I did was worry about rehab, get my knee right, rehab, get my knee right. Now this year I can really get back to looking at me as a whole, looking at what I can really have a true offseason and whatnot and really, you know, put my best foot forward for my team, and that's leading the team, doing my job, and making sure each week we're ready to go and stuff like that. And, you know, that's how I look at it. But to answer your question, I am excited to have a full year off, you know, not worried about rehab and worried about, you know what I'm saying, getting bigger, faster, stronger, and all that. So, yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
What's this offseason been like for you? Obviously, a lot of changes happening with the team and with your units.
Right. It's been great so far. In terms of myself, just getting in a great routine, being very structured and taking a pretty great approach to just my training. As far as the team with the new coaching staff, I've talked to Mike and Frank a bunch, and, I'm really excited for, what we have in place. Even more excited for the work we're about to do to even start, because first things first, it starts now. That's why we're meeting and, training together, getting all that, getting the details down really of, our concepts that we're going to do.
How different is this scheme compared to anything you've run maybe in college and in your first few years here?
What I like about this scheme is it's very detailed. It's very detailed. We have a very detailed emphasis, and at the end of the day, we're going to have to rely on the concepts that we know and study and train for, which is fun. It's actually a lot of fun to do that, because once you get in an actual game, there's a lot of different situations to be ready for. So I think we'll definitely have our, our great playbook and just concepts that we're installing right now to fall back on.
I know you haven't even had a practice yet, but the zone rushing philosophy seems to align with many of your strengths. How do you think it aligns with your strengths?
Personally, it aligns with a lot of my strengths, one of them being my athletic ability, of course. Personally, I feel like I can play in any system, but it definitely aligns to the strength of overall as a team. And most definitely just, I don't know, I'm really excited. I don't know how to fully explain my excitement, but just know we definitely will be utilizing speed all around. We have a team full of people that are fast, skill-wise and offensive line-wise, very competitive and very aggressive. And those are three pretty much fundamentals as players that, we pretty much operate on.
Austin, what's Teron bringing to this offensive line? Not just from a play standpoint, but from a mentality standpoint.
Oh yeah, he's definitely he's a 10-year guy coming in, all-pro experience and all that stuff. If we're being quite frankly, that's somewhere every offensive lineman in the NFL wants to be. So he's definitely coming with the work ethic and his experience, and we all look up to that stuff. We all want to be there. So you gotta tip your hat to the OGs and do your job at the end of the day.
If I can follow up on that, Daniel, I think we heard Emmanuel the other day say he kind of brings that dog mindset to the line. Do you feel like, have you felt that so far, or you got to wait till you put the pads on in order for that to really resonate?
He's a dog to the dogs, definitely for sure. He's definitely a dog. He's helped. There's little things in my training that I've taken a different mindset too. But like we said earlier, it's a room full of dogs already. So now we got more bite.
Did you have any prior just knowledge or relationship with your new offensive line coach Matt Applebaum, and just what are your impressions of him as a teacher?
Prior impressions, I've actually watched quite a lot of college tape. I watch a lot of tape. I actually love playing offensive line. It's more of an art form. It's an art form to me. So I love to study it, and I've definitely seen what Boston College linemen have been doing in the past couple of years. So they've been super fundamentally sound, technique-wise, and all that. So these last couple of weeks we've been working together. It's been great. Looking forward to more in the future for sure.
So what do you view as your ideal position with this group on the line and ultimately going forward in your career? And are those two things the same or different?
Right. Well, as you know, I played guard last year, as well as tackle. So, personally, I'm a tackle. I feel like I'm a tackle. Comfortable there. Also very comfortable playing guard. Really just want to be in whatever position I can be in to help my team at the end of the day.
So Mike McDaniel did say that obviously Teron will be the left tackle. They signed Connor Williams, who projects to be left guard, but that's still up in the air. The kind of outside thought is that you'll probably be competing for a spot at right tackle with Jesse Gunn. What do you think about that, and what changes do you think you would have to make from moving to the left side to potentially the right side at tackle?
I actually played right tackle. This isn't a first time playing a new role for me. Played it in high school, played it in college, actually collegiately, like starting at it. So it's not completely new for me. But at the end of the day, I have to make sure I'm 100% right in my techniques and fundamentals, because what our offense does is if you get the technique down and use that same technique, it's supposed to be the same at every position. So really, it's allowing for, people to be interchangeable. So that's first things first. That's what, we're locking in on in April.
When it comes to your weight that you want to be at and your specific preseason training, spring and summer, is it helpful to go in with the sort of heads up that they're going to try out at tackle first? Is there a difference in weight and training for tackle versus guard?
Oh, well, not for me, because you see, last year, I was at my tackle weight, I guess you would say, and I ended up getting moved to guard. So it depends on the player. It's like some players are heavier at guard, some players are lighter and smaller at guard. It really, depends on what you do with your feet at the end of the day. But I will say that one thing that, we've put an emphasis on in this new offense is elite stamina. You definitely want to be at the tip top of your game in terms of how hard you can push yourself, especially when you're training. Being in South Florida, playing against all these other teams, that's another huge advantage we definitely want to take advantage of. So to answer your question, I would say it helps out all around to be in great shape, just overall.
Talk about your experience last year playing both guard and tackle, and you're obviously a very studious player. I'm just curious if having that different lens, different perspective kind of changed the way you view offensive line play going from tackle to guard.
Yeah, definitely enhanced. I definitely would have said enhanced me as a player, 100%. It's easy to be at one position and kind of just not fully take in what's done at other positions. Why would a quarterback have to think about, everything a slot receiver needs to do technique-wise, I never played quarterback. I don't even know if that's valid or not. So, but you get the point, though. It's just I think it allowed me to get a deeper appreciation of, what core techniques and fundamentals allow you to be consistent and dominant.
Austin, last week the reoccurring theme was that there was a good energy in this building, whether it was from Mcdaniel or just from the guys coming back. Can you echo those sentiments, I guess?
Definitely. This is a great feeling in the building. At the end of the day, the office or whoever brought us all in together, they did a great job of bringing in a bunch of like-minded guys who are willing to work hard, want to work hard, and are willing to hopefully, God willing, reap the benefits of that. And we do it with a smile on our face. It's not easy to do every single day and still be happy about it. I think when you have turmoil, that brings in a lot of other stuff, but we're just taking it on to smile and enjoying it.
We're all just getting to know Mike McDaniel. We're kind of happy he's here. It seems like he's good to deal with, and we appreciate that. What's your impression of his personality and his approach?
I really like his personality and his approach. He's confident in what he's doing. That confidence just kind of reeks out of him. It's pretty gross. It's a lot of confidence. And it's just kind of pours into how we as players operate. He's got a great plan. I think he's doing a great job of getting everybody to buy in. And right now we're being deliberate in our approach and how we train. He's emphasized that we need to be deliberate and present, and what we do every day. And that starts in April. It starts today. It started actually a couple weeks ago, but I'm talking about it today. So.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
On?
A lot of things.
Getting married? Oh, marriage, nice. Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you. Crazy. Durham's boy, Scotty Scheffler, took home the dub.
Are they friends?
It's like Durham's good boy from home, his friend. He's like in-laws with him. So Durham claims that he's in his circle. He's not. Scotty has no idea who Durham is, but Durham indirectly has connections. So.
How could you be in-laws with somebody and they don't know you?
Well, no, Durham's not in-laws. So it's Durham's friend from home is in-laws with Scotty, and now I'm calling him, first name basis as well. Sorry, Scotty. So, yeah.
Cuban cousins down here.
Exactly.
So how do you feel about receiving the franchise tag?
I mean, I don't think anybody like across the league would be, mad about a situation that you get to come back. You're obviously getting an increase in financial purposes and all that kind of stuff. It's obviously not the goal, the end all be all goal. It's definitely more team friendly than it is player friendly. But just gives me more reason to continue to come back here, work hard, and continue to be motivated and get back to work and help this team win football games and hopefully eventually get what I deserve moving forward.
So it was a pretty eventful offseason for you.
Yeah.
Congratulations again. Was there any were you able to kind of compartmentalize? Obviously, you have the wedding, you have the honeymoon, and then you're kind of talking with your agent. Were you able to compartmentalize?
It was crazy. It was awesome. I had a lot of fun this offseason. A lot of the focus was, not football related. A lot of the focus was, on the wedding and, the honeymoon and all that kind of stuff. And I made sure that Hallie knew that it was all, focused on the wedding and the honeymoon. I wasn't even worried about a contract. So, it was awesome. It was great. It was everything that I could have imagined. And then, I was in Bora Bora on my honeymoon, and yeah, exactly. And it was like a 6-hour difference in time. So it was 3 a.m. My agent texted me. He's like, "Hey, they're tagging you." And I was like, "Oh." I rolled over in the middle of the night, checked my phone. I got a text from my agent, and I was like, "Okay." And then I also had 100 other texts as I slept through it. It was like 4 a.m., 3 a.m. Bora Bora time, and rolled over, checked my phone, and knew what happened. Woke up Hallie. She was all excited, and then went back to sleep. So
are you planning? Are you and the organization sort of like, hey, let's have a 1-year look-see, or are you still open to the possibility of a long-term?
I am absolutely open to negotiation, but not really up to me, as a lot of this is not. So I just kind of go with the flow, and if they reach out, then my agent will be listening. So.
Does it bother you that they didn't feel necessary to get a multi-year deal done?
That's up to them, honestly. I have a good relationship with, Chris and, Brandon and, this new coaching staff. Obviously, maybe that has something to do with it. I'm not sure. I don't really have all the answers. But I do know, the kind of person that I am and, the worker that I am and the player that I am. I'm just going to go back out there and, continue to do what I do, continue to improve and, make plays and help this team win football games and, eventually get compensated for it.
Mike, are you planning on playing on the tag as a tight end, or you thinking about seeing what you can find as a wide receiver?
Well, I'm definitely playing. I'm here in OTAs, so this is obviously optional. So here I am. I want to do whatever I can to help this team win football games. I think, I've been here for 4 years now. The last 2 years we've been the odd team out, the last team out at the end of the end of the regular season in terms of playoffs. So, whatever it takes to go out there, win some games, win a playoff game, and get back out there and kind of get this city going in the right direction. It's been a long time, so but obviously it's a long process and a lot of work goes into it, and we're far away from that right now, but there's obviously the excitement, but all 32 teams are excited. It's April, so.
I think you were referring to, or you want to appeal for the receiver designation in franchise tag, or keep it with the tight end?
That's kind of up to, obviously it's up to me, but more my agent and him kind of putting that out there. But as of now, I'm in here and not really a big controversy guy. So I'm not trying to be the guy that's the bad locker room guy or the guy that's bringing the organization down or the guy that's in the headlines for the wrong reasons. Just trying to like I said, help this team in any way I can. Going on my 5th year. I joke around with Durham now. I am the most tenured Dolphins player on offense. I beat out Durham by about 17 hours. So that's me now. So I gotta be the leader. So I mean, I'll just be a team guy and continue to do what I do and come in here with a smile on my face and work hard.
Mike, what were your thoughts on the acquisition of Tyreek Hill, and might it impact in any way what your role in what
Love having more playmakers on the field. So to bring in a guy that's, I mean, one of, if not the best at what he does in this league, it's only going to help everybody in this offense. It's going to help our run game. It's going to help our pass game. It's going to help Tua. It's going to help me. It's going to help Jalen. It's going to help everybody. So super excited about that acquisition, and excited to continue to get to work with them. So it's been good.
So Mike, when you look at the 49ers film and you talk to Coach Mike McDaniel and you talk to Coach Embry, right?
Yeah.
What do you see and what are you hearing about how your skill set could fit into that scheme?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely it's definitely a different scheme as to what we've played in. But at the end of the day, football's football. So these coaches are elite in what they do, and I think that they're gonna put people in position to be successful. To be honest, we haven't even really gone over like installs or anything like that. It's just been very, very basic knowledge of the offense. So that's pretty much where we're at right now. But I'm ready to do whatever I can to go out there and make plays.
Did George Kittle run a lot of the types of routes that you have run?
I would say George and I are different players, but I mean, in terms of route running and ability to make tough catches and make plays, I think that the thing that he's the best at in the league, I think out of probably anybody in any position, is yards after the catch. He gets the ball and he runs angry, he runs people over, he stiff arms people, he runs by people. So I think having Coach Embry here, and he's kind of a guy that helped. I'm not saying that he's the reason that George is where he's at, or that George is the reason that John's the coach he is, but they worked together and did a very good job together. So he was able to help him in a lot of aspects, and obviously George is the player he is now. So I'm happy to have Coach Embry here, and it's definitely some good tape to watch. Watching Kittle out there.
What are your early impressions of Mike McDaniel, the man, the personality, coach?
Yeah, funny dude. I had a meeting with him, last week, and it went well. And just talking with him, just about everything. The atmosphere in the building, the guys, the locker room, everything. So he's awesome. It's been great, and I'm excited to play for him and work for him and do everything I can to earn his trust for some big time opportunities coming up this fall. But it's April right now. Everybody's optimistic. Everybody's happy. Everybody's in a good mood. But we'll see how it goes. When things start flying around and adversity hits and all that kind of stuff. So, but I think that this locker room, the guys that are still here, have been through a lot. So excited to continue to use our past to get better in the future.
Like, I know you want to avoid controversies, but you can't take off the ring like this early.
Yeah, I'm in trouble right now. So I was, yeah, I know. Yeah, the hands are behind my back. So Hallie was on a bachelorette party this weekend in Miami. So I went back home to see my parents. Went home, forgot my ring at home. I'm driving to the airport on Sunday, and I'm like, oh boy. Text Hallie, hey, forgot my ring. Yeah, okay, like you did it. No, Hallie didn't do it on purpose. I forgot it. I got out of the shower, I put it down, and then when I got out, I forgot to put it back on. So I'll be sure to, replace that on my finger here. But I'm pretty sure everybody that at least I care about knows I'm married. So.
Hey, you're very, very married, and by the way, the shirtless dancing is nice. It's a nice.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I was enjoying myself at the wedding. Durham also enjoyed himself at the wedding. Don't let him tell you any differently. He was standing on tables and spraying champagne too. There's just no visual evidence at the moment. So
I have a question for you.
what you got?
How do you how does your, obviously it's a wedding, it's not necessarily for you.
Yeah.
How do you plan it so close to free agency?
So
what was the thought
So
process?
we got engaged 2 years. I mean, almost this summer will be 2 years, and we did it quickly in terms of planning. So we got engaged on July 1st. I had to come back for training camp, call it the 25th of July. So we wanted to kind of have it scheduled before we went back. Went to a bunch of different venues, and this was before my 3rd year. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have a good year. I'm gonna get extended. Not even got to worry about free agency. 3rd year passes, no extension. 4th year ends, no extension. And then here comes my wedding. I'm sitting there talking to Hallie. I'm like, yo, we're going to be in Bora Bora. I don't know what's going to happen, but, I might get a phone call here, phone call there. We might have to fly back early. I have no idea. We just got to kind of roll with the punches. And she was great. She was, obviously super excited and was awesome throughout the whole process. But, yeah, it was getting close, and everybody's like, bro, you're getting married on Friday. The tag window closes on Tuesday morning, and then free agency starts. Why did you plan your wedding? I was like, bro, I was not thinking a year and a half in advance, obviously. So, yeah.
Life gets in the way, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So what was your favorite part of the wedding?
That's a tricky question. That you're trying to get me in trouble now. Obviously, getting married, saying my own vows. I did like saying my own vows. I didn't want to at first because I was like.
Did you memorize them or read them?
Memorize them. Yeah, I got there the night before, and the priest was like, I need you to, give me your vows. This way we can look over them. And Hallie had them all written down, handed to him. And I'm like, oh, I didn't write them down. I got them up here. So then Hallie thinks, I haven't even thought about writing my vows yet. We're getting married in 12 hours. And I'm already in the doghouse. And then, but obviously, I'm like, Hallie, I got them right here. So wrote them out the next morning, gave them to the priest. Hey, this is what I'm going to say. Went straight off the dome, and it was great. And said some nice things. So I was clear for the whole night. So it was great. And then the reception, the after party, it was awesome. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was about probably 250 people there. So it was cool. Yeah, it was a nice venue. It was cool.
Did you do any of the planning, or you just showed up?
I showed up. Can't really tell you much. I was at the tasting. I tried the food, and that was pretty much it. I left it all up to Hallie because, if I said something and we didn't want to do it, or if I said something she didn't want to do it, we weren't going to do it. So, Hallie, if you want the color of everything to be pink or blue, whatever, great. Let's roll with it. As long as you're happy, I'm just showing up. I did pick my tux. So that was me, but it was great.
So you got the wedding, the honeymoon, and then you got a chance to break the news from Durham Smythe's contract extension. How pumped were you about playing next
Oh,
time?
I was fired up. That was it was like getting married and then Durham getting re-signed was right here. So it was great. So I was super fired up about that. I was actually driving to go work out, and he had texted me that morning saying I think we're close. And then after that, Ann Nolan FaceTimed me. She's probably watching this interview somewhere, having a heart attack. Oh God, what is he about to say? She FaceTimed me and said hey, I think it would be funny if you broke the news. I was like, great. Sent her a couple pictures and videos, and she was like, do not post any of those. Do not post any of those. I was like, okay, fine. I'll try to find something a little bit more appropriate. One of them was like us in Vegas. The other one she was like, do not post that. I was like, okay, I'll keep that private. So then I ended up posting the one from when he scored his touchdown against the Jets and broke the news, and yeah, it was great. I was thinking about flying he was in North Carolina on a golf trip. I was thinking about flying there, and then I was like, all right, I don't like you that much. I'm not going to celebrate with you in North Carolina. I'll just see you when I see you. But
So there was only one source. See, that's wrong. You need to get two sources on when you break news like that.
oh, it was straight from me. It was straight from me. So it was the most reliable source possible.
How does that feel breaking news like that?
It was great. I think I have a future after football. I think there's definitely some potential there.
Thanks, guys.
Glad you're here, Mike. Thanks.
Thanks, Mike.